Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Reena, and I will be going over the most important and most asked data interview questions covering different topics like DAX, Power BI, SQL, big cloud data platforms, Azure, Snowflake. That's where I have experience and I'm certified. Let's continue with the SQL series. So this is a third example. So today we will be covering a cloud subscription real world business example. Here, a cloud service company offers subscription based software to businesses. For example, Azure, Microsoft offers different subscription based, softwares to businesses like Azure, Power BI, and other subscriptions, which could be under different tiers like basic, pro, enterprise. Customers can subscribe to product within these different tiers, and subscriptions can be auto renewing and billed monthly or annually. So in the question in during the interview, you might be provided with the kind of like a relationship showing these tables or the data model which they have a sample data model. So for example, here we have a subscription table which is connected to customers, look like and products table. So products and customers look like they are the dimension tables, and subscription is the fact table here. Just This is what I've seen, like especially in Amazon and Meta interviews, they will provide you with a kind of like a relationship and a sample model. Now, the business, the problem statement will mention that the business wants to measure how many of their active subscriptions are both auto renewing and billed on annual cycle to access reoccurring revenue reliability. And tracking auto renew plus annual billing is crucial for reoccurring revenue forecasting, which the businesses do because it directly reflects their stability, predictability, and health of a SaaS or a subscription based model. And as if you have seen, these are all provided as part of quarterly earnings reports by the businesses. The problem statement is what percentage of all active subscriptions are both auto renewing and billed annually? As I mentioned earlier, in this series, we will not just be talking about the solutions, but also providing you with some helpful tips to save you time during the interview. Because when you are at the time of the interview, you will not have much time to think. You will have to think very fast, and also you should remember some tips to stand out, like so we will be covering those as part of the series. This particular example, it falls under conditional aggregation questions or category. Um, so let me actually, I have some sample data script. So let's create these tables. Okay. We created our customer table. Let's create our products. These are our dimension tables. Then this is our fact table. And now let's insert some sample data in it. Okay. Now let's insert some subscriptions data. Okay, so now we have inserted data into the tables. Now let's look at the data. We also want is from all the tables. So we have customer, we have products, and we have subscriptions. Okay, so here you can see we have subscription customer ID, company name, and the country where that particular company is based, then the product, what are the different products being sold here, for example, computer drive, cloud compute, cloud secure. These are like the subscription data, when the subscription started, what was the customer, what was the product, what was the start date and end date, is it active, is it being renewed annually? One stand, this is a flag for that. So this is basically one is yes, it's being renewed, auto renewed. And then billing cycle, is it annual or monthly? So for example, yeah, sometimes they might provide you multiple tables, but you need to keep in mind whether do we need to use all the three different tables, like do we need to join or not. So here you can see we need the active subscriptions, which we can get from the subscription table here. And then we need is auto renewing, the ones which are auto renewing. Say that information also we can get the subscription table. Here you can see this particular column. And then billed annually, so billing cycle. So that should provide us the this. So all the three fields that we need are available in the subscription table itself. So yeah, so we don't need to use multiple tables here. And so let's first get all the active subscriptions from the subscriptions table. So we will apply a filter first. So always start with the filter first. So where is active is equal to true. Okay, so now we need the percentage of out of these active subscriptions which are being auto renewed and are billed annually. And so we need to count all the subscriptions, uh, and we need to count also the only the ones which are being renewed, auto renewed and billed monthly, annually. So this falls under I call conditional aggregations questions category. So we need to use a case statement and a count or a sum aggregate function. It makes this question like very making use of these makes writing this query very simple. Uh, we are using it because we want to sum and count only certain rows within an aggregate function. So that's why it falls under conditional aggregation question category. Um, okay, so generally the you need to look at the words like percentage or subset of the group. That will help you indicate whether we need to use a case statement or an account or a sum aggregate function in that particular question. So here we're gonna you found this. We're gonna first apply a case statement. So we need is sorry, case. So the syntax is case when we want auto renewed. So auto renew flag is equal to 1 and billing cycle. So we're gonna count them is equal to annual, then 1 and okay, let's look at what this query gives us. Okay, so you can see here, if you look at, let's run these two queries together. Actually, yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this side by side. Yeah, so you can see here, the one we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where the subscriptions were active, and out of those 5, how many had both auto renew flag is equal to 1 and billing cycle is equal to annual? So we have 1, 2, 3. So now we need to count the percentage. So we need the percentage. So also we need to count this, and we need to count the total count this, and then we need to divide it by the total count, which would be count star, give it a as. This is percentage. So percentage, uh, auto renew, and these are auto renew and annual active subscription percentage. So it will be very clear from it. Now let's take a look at it. How many? This will be 3 out of 5. So 3 out of 5 is 60%. So let's see. And we need to divide it by 100. Sorry, multiply by 100. Bye. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can see here. Now this gives us a 60%. Now we know how much is our ARR, which is this is giving us as ARR, which stands for uh, annual recurring revenue. This is what, like, if you work for any company, sales department, analytic team, that is MMR and ARR are one of the most important KPI metrics which are tracked by the leadership teams, and the whole analytic team will be working on providing these metrics. So this is what now you should now, please ask follow-up questions, regarding the data or the output, like, to help you stand out. I want you to be interactive in the interview. Also stand out, walk through your code, explain why you used count, ask them, do they want, because when you um, uh, if this output, this is a final table, and if this is feeding your report, you want to make sure that, if it is in the proper format, you want to reduce as much formatting in the final report or the dashboard that you'll be using. So you should definitely check with them whether they want it to up to the 2 decimal point or 1 decimal point, and be ready to write the query for that. For example, in this case, we need to convert, if we want to uh, give the output only up to 2 decimal points, we need to use the cast function, because it's both are cast this as decimal 10 to 2, so this is gonna cast it as decimal up to 2 decimal points, and then it's converting it into the numeric. Same this one also, because both are integers, the numerator and the denominator, you need to convert both them into decimal, and then convert the whole value as into the decimal up to 10, and then now we need to convert this whole thing as okay. Yeah, because this is also very important. Please remember these these data conversion um functions, cast, and making sure the output is in the desired, like when you work in uh, a real project, this will be very, very important. Okay, so here, this will feed it into your dashboard. So this is in the proper format. Yeah. So if you think this video was helpful, please like it and subscribe. Until then, see you next time.